On Friday there may have been no golf, but that evening in the Valderrama clubhouse, the awards dinner for the Reuters performance data. Frederik Harrington, best putter. A glittering evening. Before once again to Sunday, Jacobson and Rodiles, nothing between them. They're on the par 3 12th.
And as those Reuters stats show, the man who's played better than anybody else in this tournament from tee to green is this fella here, Carlos Rodiles. Fine display so far as he tees off on the par 3 12th, coming down the hill. Hit every green in regulation so far today. There's another. And he's hit 80% of the right numbers so far this week. And around this course, that is impressive.
Well, Jacobson bidding to be the first European to win 3 times this season. He has his own way of doing it, but very effective.
Yeah, it's not necessarily always a thing of beauty with Freddie, but has a wonderful heart, very strong mental character this year.
Ian Poulter, third shot at 17, and Poulter's having a much better round today. Level par overall, 4 under for the round. As soon as he pops that in.
And I wonder how many people in the field would like a shot like that on 17. That's the one they've all got to get past if they're going to win this event, and will be in the minds of these players, Jacobson and Rodiles, as they play here on 12.
For the first time, they're not playing preferred lies, and a little bit of mud on Jacobson's ball. Not bad. Second in greens in regulation.
Up ahead, Greg Owen, and who won the Daily Telegraph de Movo British Masters earlier this year. That was his first title. Not really pushed on since then. Well, that's a lovely shot onto the green on 13.
Rodiles for birdie.
Well, I'm giving that one a little bit of a go, but so much for these fellas to play for. Carlos playing for a 3-year exemption and a winner's cheque, 4 times as much as he's ever won on tour before from one event.
Bickerton to the 13th. Still 5 under.
52nd on the order of merit tables, John Bickerton. Nothing better than 8th so far this year, but he's doing well this week. Important putt here for Rodiles on 12. And really this between these two players is a bit of a match play battle. Played in each other's company for the last 2 days. Played very well indeed.
Brian Davis, the nearest challenger. Hasn't had a win this year, but 10 top 10s already. And it looks as though he will go one closer.
One of an array of shots into 13, so obviously not unlucky for those guys as Freddie tries to hole out for his par on 12.
And that's been a feature of Jacobson's game. As I say, he's second in the greens in regulation, but he's top 10 in putts as well. A pretty heady combination.
Up ahead on 17, just the simplest of tap-ins for Ian Poulter. Now one of the few players that are under par for this event this week.
Bickerton at 13 for birdie. Nicely done. Moves to 6 under. Never won on tour, but it's going to be a lucrative season yet again.
Birdie putt for Olafable on 14. He particularly likes to hold out for a 2 here in the Ryder Cup back in 97, and there's a 3 to add to the birdie that he made on the 11th, now at 2 under.
Brian Davis makes it 3 birdies for his group. 3s also for John Bigton, as you saw, and Greg Owen. So if the top 2 should falter, then Davis perhaps poised to strike.
Well, Carlos Rodiles played faultless golf so far today. Perfect position here on 13. 3 under par for his round. Just a short iron in, and he's got a chance to do what nobody else has ever done on this course at Valderrama this week in this event. Shoot 4 sub-70 scores. Man who's come closest and had the opportunity was Seve Ballesteros, but he shot 73 in the final round and lost out to Lange.
Adam Scott, putt for birdie at 14. And he gets into the red, 1 under. A real talent, the tall Australian.
Thirteenth hole, 403 yards. Jacobson's taken a driver off the tee, fairly adventurous. Now the shot over and round, and oak trees that line the course here, and he's really got away with that shot. Still has a chance for the birdie, but he's going to give the line away to Rodiles.
Bickerton at 14. Steeply uphill, a semi-blind second shot.
I suppose that's a feature of this course, quite undulating. And if you do go beyond the hole today at 14, it will be very difficult to get down in 2, so many of the players coming up short. Important to leave themselves uphill putts.
Jacobson, what a year he's had. 2 wins already. Good finish in the US Open for birdie at 13. Just turning across the face.
And that on one of the flattest greens on the course here at Valderrama. But I'm sure Rodiles will have noticed that. He'll have to travel on exactly the same line. And he was pretty bold and aggressive with the putt.
It's getting tense.
And I wonder who's going to crack first. Make the breakaway move that's required. This man is performing better than anybody else so far today in this final round as Davis plays up the hill on 14. And off that downhill side hill lie, just dug at that one a fraction. But he's still got it on the green, still has a chance for the 3.
Rodiles for the lead. 13th hole, and birdie putt. And obviously, look at that, finishes right behind the marker of Frederik Jacobson.
Davis then uphill on the 14th. I suppose everyone will remember the start he made in the US Open earlier this year. 5 under par for the first 4 holes. Hold his second shot to his opening hole, the 10th. I don't think anyone has ever done that before in a US Open.
Third shot of Ian Poulter at the last hole. And that's very good. Season not ending for Ian Poulter and some of his mates. Next week they have the Seve Trophy.
Wonderfully consistent player, John Bickerton, despite not being one of the best putters on tour. Came into this event having played 87 rounds, 92 under par. That's pretty good going.
Poulter then for a 68. An excellent round.
I think that's an excellent tournament for him. He spent a lot of time on the range before the first round. He wasn't happy with his game, and he's crafted out a good week for himself.
Rodiles, second to 14. Well, no doubt who the galleries are supporting. Understandable.
Brave shot that, Steve. Took the flag on. Wasn't scared of going long. He's got a wonderful chance for the 3 and up ahead on 15, playing a par 3. Ryan Davis. 234 yards today. Pin tucked in the back right corner. Banana-shaped green. And that's going to give him a banana-shaped putt.
Now what can Jacobson do? Rodiles has got it pretty close.
Trying to cut a little one in, up to the back flag. And it's almost like Augusta, this course, Valderrama. If you don't pitch it in exactly the right spot, you can always end up trickling away from the hole.
Bickerton on the 15th tee. Man from Droitwich in the English Midlands. That's a very quick putt. Downhill and swing slightly.
Freddie up the hill on the 14th. Knows his man's in close. Has a chance for his 3. And that's unlike him leaving a putt short. You mentioned, Steve, he won that event in Portugal this season. That after a 10-week break with a wrist injury. I think that shows the fortitude of Jacobson, the improvement that he's made this year. Even when things have gone against him, he's managed to conjure up something pretty special and go on and win.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a scrapper. But so is Rodiles, it appears. 5th in the recent German Masters, 8th at the Trophy Longcombe. He's been knocking on the door. This for the lead. Can't believe it.
And that's the first time today he showed any emotion. Up until now he's kept things very quiet. He's looked steely confident.
Brian Davis on the 15th. Long putt for birdie and just sets it on his way.
He was almost aiming that off the green.
Not dead yet. Nick Faldo, the first ever winner of the Volvo Masters back in 1988. He finishes +7. He raised a few hopes though along the way. 5 holes to go and they still can't be separated. Jacobson and Rodiles show no sign of weakening. Back in a minute.